Hi, Jamie here, aka Fit Ragamuffin. Today we're going to be working on a balance routine. Balance is always important. Working on balance is always important, but specifically becomes more and more important as we age. Today I'm going to take you through a routine of about 8 balancing exercises that are easy to do. Equipment is usually can be found in the home. We're going to be using a step stool, which if you have a book too, you can do, or a thick book if that step stool is too tall. We're going to be using 5 dots for kind of targets around that we're going to place on the ground, as well as maybe a chair or something that you can hold on to just to maintain your balance. I often tell patients or clients countertops or tables, anything that they can hold on to that's sturdy. Make sure to make it not be a rolling chair, because anything that can slide out from under you while you're holding on, you want to make that thing that you're holding on to give a good amount of support. It's there in case you need it. As we're going through this routine, I'm going to give you options for how to progress it. Maybe moving to eyes closed or removing your hand from the stability. Now, this is at your own discretion. If you feel too wobbly to do any of them, just keep in mind your ability at the time. Obviously, balance, we're going to be challenging muscles and we're going to be a bit wobbly. Keep it at your discretion as far as how much you choose to progress. All right, so we're going to get started. I am going to be using this as something to balance with. So this is a pretty tall foam roller in place of a chair. Obviously, it doesn't have wheels on it. It's not super sturdy, but you can use a cane or a walking stick. Any of those are helpful too. The back of a chair. So the first one that we're going to be working on, and we're going to be doing a couple reps of these. I'm going to explain progressions throughout. So we're going to be marching, but this is going to be slow and deliberate marching. So it's not going to be quick. We're going to come up with one foot, come down. Come up with one foot, and come down. Now I really want you to focus on those hips staying level as you bring each leg up and down, making sure you have that stability. If you do feel very confident and you're not wobbly at all, and this is not a balance challenge and you want to, you can take your hand off of the support, making it almost a single leg stance. Placement for the hands can be either out to the side, out on maybe hips or hand or head. I always kind of like to have my hands on my hips or out, kind of touching my body in some way, provide a little bit more stability and support. So we're going to do right here 3 more on each side. So lifting and holding. Always keeping a bend in this knee, never locking that knee out. Whatever that standing knee is. 2. And last one coming up here. Good. All right. The next one that we're going to do is moving our leg in a different direction. So last move, we brought that knee up nice and slow. This time, we're going to come up. We're going to stay on one foot and out. Up and out. If at any time you do need to touch that ground for stability, go ahead and do so. Keeping that core tight and engaged, breathing. If you do feel confident in this, try to take away the support. Again, if you feel that this is a balance challenge already with the support, keep the support in there. 3 more. That was 1. 2, holding on to the support, having a little bend in that knee, and 3. Now, whatever we do on one side, we got to do on the other. So we're going to stabilize the other leg, and soft bend in that leg, and coming up. Breathing. A lot of times with balance, finding a spot that you can focus on away will help. Maybe a spot on the wall or a corner of a frame. Again, if you feel confident in this and you want a little bit more of a challenge, you still have your support there, but you can take your hand off. Good breathing. 3. You're gonna feel a lot of wobbling in that ankle foot area. Those are all those muscles working. And here's the last one. Good. All right, the third part we're gonna work on with balance is we're gonna add a little bit of agility to this balance. So we're gonna imagine that we're standing in a spot. There's some place that we're going over here, a spot over here, and a spot over here. I would use right and left, but I think it's a mirror image, so it might confuse you if I say right and left. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you an example of what we're going to do. We're going to hop to this side, bring up this knee, and kick out. And hop back, bring up the knee, and kick out. Okay? So if this is something that you need extra balance for, you're going to hold on to that chair, that back of the chair. You're going to hop and kick out, and you're going to take away that kind of big hop and kick out. Hop, kick out. Small, small hop. So it's not a jump, it's just a shift of weight. Making sure that you're balanced first before you kick out and back. Again, if you find that you are really super good with that support and you're not having any trouble, take away that support and try to hop and hold and kick out, hop and hold and kick out. We have two more on this side. Good. Last one. And done. We're doing about 10 to 15, somewhere in there. I'm not exactly counting because I'm thinking about things that I'm saying, but anywhere between 10 to 15 reps on each side. Now we're going to switch to the opposite side. Again, if you need that support, go ahead and do so. We're going to hop, balance, kick out. I'm going to start with the support, and then I'm going to take it away. So, again, if you need that, keep it the whole time. Knee up, making sure that you're balanced prior to lifting that knee. So I don't want you coming, whoa, up here like this. It's a nice, slow, and controlled hop back. Lift, good. Two more on each side, or two more on the side. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Again, if you need to, stare at a spot. Good. All right, the next one we're going to do, this one, do as I say, not as I do. I'm going to use a rolly chair, but I do not want you using a rolly chair. I'd like you to have something with stability, but I'm just not going to use this at the time. I think a chair demonstrates this really well. So we are going to do up toe raises to toe lifts. Excuse me, heel raises to toe lifts. So again, starting out holding on the balance, holding onto a counter or a tabletop or whatnot will be the best way to kind of just gain that balance. We're going to come up on our toes, holding and back, kind of rocking back on our heels. Trying not to stick your bottom out like so when you rock back on those heels. So we're coming up. And again, we might have a little bit of flexibility issues with the back of the leg, and that's okay. Just bring your weight back to the heels if that's all you can do. You don't have to come down and lift those toes up. Again, if this feels pretty easy, we're going to take away that support, and then you'll find that, whew, okay, now I'm starting to work and get a little bit more shaky down there in my ankles, all those ankle muscles working. And feel free to counterbalance the whole time with the upper body. 3 more, lift. If you're getting really excited about this, you can lift and try to hold for 3 seconds and then come back, hold for 3 seconds. If not, just keep it with the up and back. Last one. And back again. Always making sure that you're around that stability, that chair, so you can grab that. if you need to at all. All right, so the next one we're going to work on is a single leg stance. So this one can be progressed with eyes closed if it's too easy, but let's just keep it at eyes open. Let's just keep it at eyes open. Okay, so I have my stability here. I'm lifting my leg up. If you need to, maybe start with toe on ground, if that is too easy, because we're doing this for time. So we're going to do about 30 seconds. Bring that toe up, or maybe put that toe on the forefront or on the top of the other foot, and then try to release that support. Now, in releasing, it's right there if I need it, right? It's right there. If you start to get really good, you can play with where the other foot is at. So maybe even just the movement of the other leg and that movement of that limb creates a tougher balance challenge for that stability leg, remembering never to lock it out. Always keep that slight bend in that joint. 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to be moving this to the other side as we come over. As I get my balance, maybe starting with the toe, breathing, and then again, finding what's kind of just comfortable. And I always have that chair or counter or whatever it is if I need to. Ooh, I locked out my knee for a second. I'm going to bend, keep that bend. And then now I maybe do a little bit of movement with that leg to increase that balance challenge, that stability. Breathing. Always making sure we're breathing here, right? 3, 2, and 1. All right, the next one we're going to do is kind of a balance beam exercise. So if you want, get really, want to put tape on the floor, you can do that. I'm just going to kind of envision it. It's a toe heel stance. So you're going to come and walk toe to heel. Toe to heel, making sure that each time your heel touches your toe. Same thing here. If you need that stability, go ahead and take about, depending on how long your counter is, you can walk along the counter and keep that stability hold. And then when you reach the point at which you can't go anymore, go backwards. Toe to heel, heel to toe, backwards. Now, let's say you want to increase this, increase the challenge, look up. Look up, don't look down at your feet. Keeping on. And again, another increase in challenge here would be to close our eyes, but we're not going to do that right here. I'd rather be right next to someone, a client or a patient, while doing so. All right, one more up and back. Again, making sure that I have my hands balanced. And back. Breathing. Good. Last one. All right. The next one we're going to do is going to require our dots. So again, you can just envision something on the ground. You don't necessarily have to have dots. I'm going to place one right in front of me. One about maybe 16 inches, so like a foot and a half or something, less than 2 feet away, to the side and to the side. Okay, so you can see kind of where I've placed those dots. I had an extra one. These papers are a little slippery, so that was not a very good thing on my part. So I'm actually not a good idea on my part. So I'm not going to step exactly on the dots. What I'm going to do here is one leg is going to stay stable. And I'm going to try to touch each dot while this leg stays stable. So, if you need to, always, the crossing is difficult, but if you need to, always create that support or that counter hold. So, bending and lifting, bending, good. Just a slight bend. It doesn't have to be a really deep squat. Coming across, keeping that core tight, Now you might feel your quads start to heat up a little bit, as this is a big quad exercise as well. Working those muscles and balance is a huge part of balance, is keeping those muscles strong around the joint. Again, lifting your head up can be an added balance challenge. We're going to go 3 more. 2 and 1. Woo! Shake out that leg, shake out that leg. So we're going to do a very similar thing on the other side. So we're going to go up, leg stays stable, never locking out that knee. Over or cross. You choose. You can kind of pick and choose too. You don't have to go, left, center, right, center, left, blah, blah, blah. You can go back and forth. And again, if you feel like this isn't much of a challenge, you can take away that stability. Add in here, making sure that upper body stays nice and high and you're not hinging forward. Good. I'm doing about 6 to 8 reps of the 3. So however many that is for you, or maybe just going for time. So this is my last one over here. Good. All right, picking up those slippery dots. Won't do that again. We're going to come to our last balance challenge or balance exercise. This is the one where I have the book. I'll show the book here, and then I'll move to the step for an added challenge. So what you're going to do is, again, if you need to hold on to something to make it to make yourself feel stable, you're going to step up and down, looking up, creating a tempo that feels good for you. Maybe looking down at first, because you want to step with your whole foot on there. You don't want to slip off and maybe catch yourself or trip. All right, now I'm going to take my hands off. So you'll see where this is going. If the book is a challenge enough, then move on to something a little higher. So with the step here, I'm going to step up. Making sure my whole foot steps up on to that step. And again, if you need that extra support or counter, we have that here. Breathing. Couple more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, so hopefully that was a little bit of a challenge for you in some way, shape, or form. There are a lot of ways that you can modify and progress balance. Surface that you're on, eyes closed, head turns, reciting states, so kind of increasing that mind energy as well. Mind energy, heebie-jeebie. I hope that helped, and I hope you'll find that practicing this, once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week will improve your balance.